All right, we're going to do a quick lesson on doing some custom triggerable dialogue with your citizens. So this is really simple. There's actually much more complex ways of doing this, but this is a really simple way to quickly implement dialogue into the game. So first off, where is all the dialogue? So the dialogue is in sound files in the game. There's a website. If you just simply Google search list of Half-Life 2 dialogue, if you just search for that, you will come to some web pages, and in your search, we're looking for this one here at the Combine over wiki.net, whatever it is. And they've got citizen quotes. If we look at the Half-Life 2 and you click on these, this is a list of all the files and all the dialogue that goes with them. So this is where you're going to look for dialogue that you want to use, okay? So you can scroll through here, and there's all kinds of different sections, and they go with the different levels of the game. If you click on them, they have all these different things that they say. And this is the file name, okay? So keep this in mind. This is the file name. In the editor, what we're going to do is we are going to set up a citizen. Okay, so this is just a generic NPC Citizen. So you're going to use your entity tool, come over here, type in NPC Citizen, and drop in a citizen. On the citizen, we're going to give him a name. So I called this guy Citizen 1. And then for the model, pick whichever one you want. For flags, remember to uncheck the random head box. Otherwise, your character can change from male to female, and that might not match your dialogue. It might be kind of weird. So uncheck that box. So we're going to name our citizen. Choose the model you want from the list down here. Under flags, you're going to uncheck the random head. Click apply. I also like to ignore player push. Check that. Click apply. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use an AI relationship, because the citizen's default behavior is to run up to the player. And I don't want that to happen. I want this to be somebody like I walk up to and they talk to me. I don't want them to run to me. So instead, we're going to put an AI relationship, and we're going to have the subject be the citizen that we just created. The target is going to be the player. We're going to put the disposition to neutral, which means they don't care about you. And we're going to start it active. Yes. Okay, nothing else. Close that up. All right. Now the next piece is this guy right here. This is the Ambient Generic. So we're going to use our entity tool. Come over here, type Ambient Generic. We're going to name it. So I named it Dialogue Citizen 1 or Cit1. Where it says sound name, we're going to click Browse. You're going to go to Game Sounds. And that'll give you a list of all the sounds in the game. Now, if you know which sound you're looking for, if you went to this website right here and you knew exactly which sound you're looking for. Okay, so like for example, this one right here. Okay, this don't drink the water quote. So if I copy that and then I go back to my editor and I search for it, it's going to find it right here. Okay.
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget. I don't even remember how I got here.
So that's the one I want. So I clicked OK. You can see it filled it in here. I click Apply. Under Source Entity Name, now remember, this will put sound out from its location unless, there's a bell, unless you tell it not to. So I'm going to go to Source Entity, click the little dropper button, and I'm going to select my character. Okay, there we go. Now the final thing we're going to do is we're going to put a trigger, and we're going to put that trigger in front of this guy. All right, so I'm going to take my block tool, I'm going to make a box, cover it with trigger, and I'm going to put it right in front of this guy right here. Okay, so I use my block tool, I draw out a box, I cover it with trigger, I put it in front of him. I'm going to right click on it, tie to entity, and the entity type I'm going to make it is a trigger once. Click apply. I'm going to name it dialogue whatever. The parent is citizen 1. This means if he moves, this trigger is going to follow him. Start disabled no. Under the output, we're going to say on trigger, this is the name of the ambient generic, this guy right here, play sound. So when the player triggers this is going to play its sound from here. Now the interesting thing about it is the game dialogue will actually puppet the mouth of the NPCs. So let's see what that means. So let me go ahead and compile all this. Awesome. And I'll reload the map. All right, so now remember, so this guy has an AI relationship, so he's not running up to me and saying, hello, Gordon, or anything like that, but he does have a trigger in front of him. Now watch, when I go up to him, watch his mouth.
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget. I don't even remember how I got here.
All right, so the included dialogue in the game is already puppeted to the mouth of the NPCs. So you can do this with as many as you want. It's important, don't forget to parent the trigger, otherwise the trigger won't follow them around. And don't forget your AI relationship, because if you don't do that, the NPCs will wander around and they'll also try to talk to you in their preset language. And so they'll say things to you that may not go with what you're trying to do. All right, check teams for the assignment. And that is all.